It's a headlight that isn't working. So when you take the headlight out, you can see that the socket is all burnt. So we're going to replace the socket with this socket. See how they're not burnt. But one thing you do notice is that the color of the wires are different. See, the factory one's blue and black, and the replacement is violet and black. So when you compare the two, you just want to line up the orientations here. I don't know if you can see there's like a little notch right there in the middle. See how it's solid right there? And then it's open right there. So when you cut the wires, because you're going to have to cut the wires. So we'll cut the wires. So this is the old plug. You can see how it's all burnt right there? So when you compare them, you'll notice that the wires aren't the same, the colors. So we're going to actually be putting the black one on the violet wire and the blue one on the black wire of the car. These two down here that are cut. So you just slip some shrink tube on it. Don't forget this step. When it's already connected, you can't unconnect it and put this back on there. You'll have to cut it and do it again. So slip these on first. And then I found these cool things right here. Like, they have a little solder in the center. And then they also have a little sealant right here when it's heated up. And then the whole thing itself is actually a shrink tube. So you want to put those on too. Because soldering wires is always the best. But a lot of times you can't get in there with the soldering gun and stuff. So you have those two pieces, and then these other two heat shrink tubes. So make sure you compare it again, make sure you're going the right way. So in this case, it's going to be blue to black, and then black to purple. So strip these wires out a little bit. And I released this harness some to get more space. Just pull a couple of these clips out here, you know, take the other bulbs out, unplug them if you don't want to take the bulbs out. Alright, so you just want to strip these wires back a little bit. That might be in the way a little bit, but there's not much room here. So strip those back. And then these really cool connectors that I found work really well. So you just kind of, let's see if I can get out of the way here. Alright, so you strip them back. And then remember this application, we're not color coding the wires. So you just kind of twist them a little bit, which is not very easy because it's very small space here. You know, and you can just make a loop, you know, on each one, just like this, you know, just like a little loop there on both of them, and then just hook them together and squish them, and then just smash them with your hands or a pair of pliers if that's easier for you, and then slip this piece down. And then you want to get the solder part right where the connection is. So I don't know if this is visible, but let's see. Then you just heat it up. I have this little hand torch here, and then you don't want to get too close, and then you'll see the solder start to melt. I'd start with that section because that's going to take more heat to melt than the sealing part of it, the little red pieces on the end. And then you just keep it far apart, and then you can see where the heat's going by what's happening with the connector there. And then just let it sit for a second or two, you know, let it harden up as it cools down. Trying to get a good view here. And then you can see how the solder melts, and then those two wires are soldered together. And then you just do the same for the other side. And then just like the other one, slide it down.